talking radio. And let me tell you something, that magazine knows what you're talking about. And when it's all said and done, we're going to get funky like a monkey. Pay attention to TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday night. If you don't, this is Axe Demolition. We'll come to your house and kick your stinking door down.
Hey, this is the Queen of Extreme Francine, and when I'm lonely, I listen to Mike Trash from 7 to 10 p.m. on Trash Talking Radio.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Kelly. You know me from the wonderful world of professional wrestling, and I am proud to be a part of Trash Talking Radio. Are you? Every Tuesday, right here at TrashTalkingRadio.com.
Hello! Hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday from 7 to 10. Tough guy. Hello!
It's Trash Talking Radio. It's Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week. And what a heck of a week it's been anyway. That was last week and this week. Just a crazy, crazy week. But this is the beginning of a new week with our great commercial or our great opening thing. And just sharing that with you because I just finished it right before the show. So here we are, ready to go. Are you? That's the question. So, I didn't even hit the button in time. You would think I would have hit the button in time, but I didn't. And our water stopped in the background. Well, that kind of sucks because...
It's not raining.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It should still be doing its thing. I'm kind of sad because the loop is on. It should have looped. There we go. There's the water. It's going. That's what it looks like outside. Hey. Ooh. Why do I hear an echo?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, jeez. Really? You don't?
No.
Gotta figure out what that's all about. All right, now let me see here. I guess I ought to make sure the streams are running as I usually do, just to make everything complicated as usual. Let me see here. We go.
I thought you did this before the show started.
I can't. I can't till we start a stream to see if the stream is running. There we go. There's our stream. It's running.
Well, I could have told you because I have it pulled up over here.
Well, I don't know that.
You could look.
I don't have time to look at your stream. I only have time to look at my own stream, and that's enough for me. That's enough. I got to figure out why I hear a delay, though. There's a slight delay. All right, let's see. Then I need to pin this one to the wall. Let's see, direct pin. There we go. And we say yes, we'll take that. Then we go over to Periscope, and it looks like... okay, I can't do that Periscope right now. I can... Where's the Twitch one? I don't know where I put the Twitch one. Oh, there it is, the first one. Okay, now we'll go to the Twitch. Okay, it looks like Twitch is... Oh, yep, it's working. So everything appears to be working, so I like that. All right. Except I sound like I'm in a dungeon or something somewhere. I wonder if I have a... let me see if I can...
Well, no, there's
on.
no bars here that
Check.
I can see.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ooh, there is something. Okay, I got rid of it.
Okay.
All right, I think we're good. Except I noticed my arm keeps disappearing.
Well, that's because of the way you're sitting.
Yeah, the window's taken. See, the window's in front of me, so my arm goes between the window. When I go like this, my arm's actually, there's a window right in front of my, the other arm. Sorry. Anyway. The things I do.
You put your arm where it wasn't supposed to be.
Who says that? Who makes that determination?
Apparently, if it's lost, I mean...
All right, it may have been on purpose. All right.
Yeah, accidentally on purpose.
All right, now, let's see. Oh, there. I'm moving my arm. I hate being that far behind, 15 seconds or whatever behind. So, all right. Got to adjust one volume here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. That's why. Hold on. All right, you people on the mix, hold on. I'm just adjusting.
Too many buttons.
I'm just adjusting the mix.
It sounds a little personal.
Why isn't the mix? Oh, there we go. Hold on. I got, there's the mix. Check 1, 2. Yeah, we got it now. All right, now it seems all our streams seem to be working. I don't know what's going on with this little echo in behind me. All right.
Echo.
So if you liked what you saw, if you saw the opening credits, the opening sequence, I'm going to try to do a couple of them. It kind of looks cool. And if not, you don't like it, tough. I still do what I want. Anyway.
You're such an egotist.
No, that's not egotistical. That's just the way it is. All right, time to move on to the movies. Let's see. Maybe if I can figure out where they are. They're not there. Here we go. Okay, there we go. All right.
Hi, Mitch.
Mitch. Hey, Mitch. And Shane. All right. This movie, this week we have only 3. Yeah, this is a good week. This is going to be a good week at the box office. We got, well, let's go over what we did last week first off. Last week we did, no, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. No, this is the one. Here we are. Aladdin. Okay, last week we had 3 movies. Aladdin, Booksmart, and Brightburn. I happened to see 2 of those movies, and Aladdin came in number 1, as we both said it would. And you said it would be 30 million. I said it would be 50 million. It was 86 million.
91 and a half.
Well, that's as of yesterday.
Okay.
I'm talking about I do Saturday, and I do up to Sunday.
Okay.
By then, it's you know, you can add the extra in, but it doesn't matter either way. You lost either way. So I'm up by 1. Number 2 was Brightburn. I said 12 million. You said 10 million. It was 7 million. So you won that. That means we're 1-1. And then the third one was Book. Wait a minute, hold on here. You won that one for that, but you lost it for 2nd place. So it's 2-1. Booksmart, you said it was going to be 18 million. I said it was going to be 8 million. It was 6 million. So I won that one by 2. That gives me 3 more than you. So
whatever.
I won. Finally, after like 2 weeks, I finally win.
No, just 1.
Okay, so I don't hear you echoing. That is me. That's definitely.
That's because I'm better than you.
Well, that's definitely reverb then. I got to figure out where the reverb is. Which one's? I bet you this is the reverb. Check. Ah, gone. Okay.
There.
I knew it would be gone. So that's what it was. That's probably what the people were complaining about. That I never really heard it. So, all right. Brightburn was a really cool movie. It was really dark, but it was really a cool movie. So I would tell people to take a good look at that movie. That would be a movie to see if you wanted to see a different movie. I mean, it's not Aladdin, but it is a little different. And I liked it more than I thought I would. I thought I would think it was okay, but it turned out to be pretty good. So that's a good movie. All right. So the big 3. All right. We had Avengers. We had our number 1 was Aladdin. We were both on both of our numbers were the same.
Right.
And we said it was going to be Aladdin, John Wick, and Avengers, and it was Aladdin, John Wick, and Avengers. So we were there. Now you said it was going to be 85 million for the 3. I said it was going to be 135 million. I won. I'm just going to tell you right now, right? Because it was 100. When I looked at it Sunday, it was like 145 or 155 million. So I don't know what it is now, but I had the computer add it up for me, so I didn't have to figure it out. So I won this week. You won the last 2 weeks. I
thought I only lost one week.
You won 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks. That's why I said it was about time I won.
I don't know.
I was starting to think I wasn't going to win anymore.
It seems like it changes every week, so whatever.
Well, it does change every week.
No, I meant the rules.
Yeah, well, the rules change accordingly, but I don't win when I lost the last 2 weeks. So, if Mitch is still there, we need to talk about that Roku thing. So,
Well, he said hi all, so he must still be there.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. So, all right, okay, so the the new ones this week are Godzilla.
How is that pronounced? How did Belsky?
Godzilla.
Huh?
Godzilla.
Oh, that's it.
That one's going to be a pretty big one, I think. So, here we go with Godzilla. Zilla. I should play the song. You know what song I'm thinking of? Blue Oyster called
Oh.
Godzilla. Zilla.
Yeah, he's still there.
All right, good. All right, here we go. This is a Godzilla. Zilla. Hopefully it's working. Why is there no sound? Here we go.
How many of these things are there?
1, 2,
17 and counting. Long live the king.
Now, this movie is a sequel, but not a sequel.
Good thing he's on our side.
you know who it is.
Could you imagine having to like put up with a creature like that being in charge of everything? You have to put your life on them. That kind of scares me a little bit.
Rated PG-13. See the full trailer on YouTube now.
Well, I thought that was a full trailer. Oh, here's another full trailer.
Our planet will perish, and so will we. We must set Godzilla free.
Beautiful.
Sometimes I think this is Godzilla's world. We just live in it.
Roar. Oh.
Godzilla. Rated PG-13. See the full trailer on YouTube now.
Rodan.
We don't need to watch all of the Godzilla ones, but nice to know that Godzilla's out there protecting the world as we know it. Anyway. All right. That's going to be a pretty big movie, I think, because I think people want to see that movie. I think I might want to see it, but it's one of those that it doesn't matter to me as much. It's not like I have to see that movie, because I know Godzilla is going to save the world from all the monsters, and we're going to feed it whatever we feed it. Whatever you feed a Godzilla.
Ex-husbands.
Well, you could do that. I don't have any of those, so.
Well, I'd share, but I want to try doing it myself.
I'm okay with that. All right, that's one. The second one.
Wait a minute, how many theaters?
I didn't get there. It's 4,100. I was going to do that all after.
I need it because while you're doing this, I'm trying to get my numbers together.
Okay, this one is going to be really bizarre, but I think I'm going to like this one. But it's called Ma, and it's Octavia Spencer.
We saw previews for this one.
Yeah, we did. Why is this not coming up?
I don't know.
This should have come up by now. Hello, come up. Okay, come on. What's going on?
I thought Pets 2 was this weekend.
I was wrong. It's next weekend.
You wrong? No wonder we're having tornadoes.
I was trying to go through a lot of stuff with remembering, because I knew there were 3 that I wanted to see this weekend, and there are 3 I wanted to see this weekend, but it's not the 3 I thought it was. Okay, here we go. Here's Ma. This one kind of sounds like I'd say my childhood, but I lived a boring childhood. I didn't do anything illegal or whatever in my childhood, so I was kind of boring. But Ma kind of seems like a kid's dream at first, but it turns out that Ma is not such a nice Ma after all. So I think it's going to be a pretty good movie. This is Ma, and that's in 2,700 theaters. So, here we go. Here we go.
Are you going to meet a boy? No sex abuse, okay?
Whoa! Maggie came to party. Let's get filthy.
Excuse me, can you buy some booze for my friends and I?
Not interested.
Please? Hell. Ooh, there's my girl. This never happened, okay?
Thanks again for doing this, ma'am.
You guys want to party like rock?
I like that.
Follow me.
The real polite guys. Thanks for buying us our beer, Mom.
What do you think? We don't know this chick.
Ain't much, but it's all you.
Cool basement.
You're free to do whatever you want down here, but nobody
Looks like my basement.
can go upstairs.
This is so sick.
Welcome to Mars.
It's kind of weird thinking about this, but there are people out there that do this.
Oh, yes.
Although not to the extent that she did.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
How did she get our numbers?
You know where the party is. Those earrings are beautiful, Maggie. You got a sweet mama, huh?
Who are you with?
Just some kids from school. You have a boyfriend and a dog's.
There's something off about Mom.
Seriously? She's harmless.
Harmless.
And her basement's pretty much the best drinking spot in town.
We can't go up there. What the hell?
Thanks for these earrings.
What happened last night?
You don't remember, do you?
We're watching you.
Mad at me for something?
I don't want to hang out at Ma's anymore.
Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink alone.
Max, I want you to
Don't
meet
make
someone.
me drink alone.
Nice to meet you, Maggie.
Can't be George Thorogood in this movie.
Together.
Why's my son
You smell just like your daddy.
spending time at your house?
Hey, guys.
That bitch is crazy.
Probably something wrong with me. How does it feel to be on the outside looking in? Let's get this party turned out.
What are you doing?
This is the most fun I've had in a long time.
It's like she wants to be one of the kids, but
She does want to be one of the kids. I wanted to be
She
one of
wants
the
to be
kids.
the good parent.
Yeah, that's it. So there you go. That's 2. The third one, hold on here. Bring up my spreadsheet, maybe. All right. Number 3 is Rocket Man. That one is going to be awesome. That one's going to be 3,500 theaters. So,
That's the one I've been waiting months to see.
I might want to change my order of those 2. Anyway, that's about Elton John, and it's going to be a pretty good one. So here is... They got a couple of the... All right, we'll pick this... I don't know which one.
Take the second one. That one.
Really? Because that might be one I saw.
Oh.
I don't know. All right.
I just like the baseball outfit.
The sparkling baseball outfit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens here. I gotta figure out what... Wow, something's over loud. The guy's a genius as far as I'm concerned.
It was all there. I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. What did you say your name was again? My name is...
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald.
That's my granddad's name.
That's funny.
Dad is a fat boy from nowhere. Get to be a soul man.
Gotta kill the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Elton.
But that's my name.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be funny. You steal your name.
Selling artist in America if you desire. I was trying to do something bold. Why do you still something flashy?
Can you even play the piano in those?
Let him know who you are. And just don't kill yourself with drugs.
So how does it feel to be a star?
It's never gonna last.
Let's just enjoy it while we can.
I wonder if he's eating his words.
Probably.
I just hope you realize you're choosing a life of being alone forever.
Don't you want to just sing without this ridiculous paraphernalia?
People don't pay to see Rich White. They pay to see Elton John.
Sorry.
I know.
That's probably one I want to see the most.
Pressure I'm under.
Not really. I'll still be collecting my 20% long after you've killed yourself.
Maybe I should have tried to be more ordinary.
You were never ordinary.
I think that's my favorite part of the whole clip.
What a shy little boy you are.
Shy.
Look at you now.
Look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't want you. He would want me before he wanted you.
I know.
So, I mean, that's, you know.
I can admire his wardrobe.
Uh-oh.
Moments in
I
a
didn't
rock
want to do
star's
that.
life.
Back up. Stop. All right. Anyway.
You know who he is.
You're not going to let me do it, are you? No. I want you to let me do it. I want to. Oh, okay. I got that one. Okay, so I'll do this, and then I'll do, and it's going to start up again. Twitter.
What did you say your name was again?
Elton.
Elton.
I'm going to change my name to Elton Trash.
Yeah, no.
Hey, that's.
It just doesn't have that ring.
You don't know that it doesn't.
Trust me, it doesn't.
So that is 3,500. So I'm ready for your numbers.
Okay. I'm going to say for third is Ma.
I've thought that would be what you would say. How much?
30 million.
Really? You think it'd be that high?
Yeah.
Okay. Next week I will tell you I've warned you. That seems really high. All right, Ron.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm comparing it to the other ones, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to say Godzilla is second at 35 million.
Okay, well then I won't change my vote because then we'll be different. At what? 35?
Uh-huh.
All right. And then number one is
Rocket Man
at
90.
You're crazy.
Remember what Queen did?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
I don't sound so crazy now, do I?
Do. I really think, though, that, well, it is Elton.
I've been saying for months that I couldn't wait for Elton John. I'm almost as excited to see Rocket Man as I was to see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, me too. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so that means you got totally different than mine, which is good. I said it was going to be Godzilla, followed by Rocket Man, followed by Ma. I said it was going to be 35, followed by 34, followed by 15. So you went way above me. So anything above 35 million, you're going to win.
Thank you.
I didn't take anything. I was, wasn't thinking about Queen's success.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really shocked everybody, including the members of Queen. So, all right. So now, I'm going to take this out and this out. Okay. I don't know why your name isn't there. It should be here. All right. Now, this is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
The big three. What do you got?
Rocket Man, Aladdin, Godzilla.
Okay, Rocket Man, Aladdin, and Godzilla.
Because I really think Rocket Man is going to do not quite what Queen did, but almost.
Well, I can't argue with that because, I mean...
Good, don't.
Because I don't have a clue what it's going to do because it's up... I mean, Aladdin did so well the first week, it probably I said that Aladdin was going to be 1 again.
It's possible.
And I said 2 was going to be Godzilla, but 3 was going to be Rocket Man. And I kept those two. Those two were pretty close in my eyes as far as the numbers that they're going to do. So I don't know. I'm not going to second guess you because last time I second guessed you, you won 2 weeks in a row. So it may be. Hopefully. So we'll see.
I was going to say, everybody go see Rocket Man. Prove me right.
Well, I think they won't need any encouragement. I think they'll do just fine without anybody saying anything. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting. This week is going to be pretty good. And next week, I believe, next weekend, I think, is when the pets come out.
Good.
But still, Godzilla and Rocket Man coming out at the same time, I'm surprised they came out the same week because everyone tries to steer clear of the big name stuff. So, and did I give you the theaters? I gave you 35.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't have a clue what it's going to do either. So, it'll be interesting to see what it does. All right. Oh, I never pulled my notes up. I'm working without notes. Oh wait, I did pull them up somewhere. What's that? That's not the notes. Uh-oh, that's going to crash my system. I hope it didn't pay attention to me. Okay. Let's make sure my notes are here.
Oh my goodness. One of my friends on Facebook, he posted pictures. He said this car was parked in a space, but look what the tornado did. And oh my.
I'm going to talk about the tornado a little bit too. So that's in my notes. As soon as my notes come up.
If they come up.
Well, if they don't, I'll pull them up a second way, but I kind of want my notes to come up. I don't know why they're not here. All right, let's close it and open it again. I had a... So this weekend I put a charging station in my... and it was a problem. Well...
It was an experience.
Let's say I am glad I used UPSs in my studio, or else I wouldn't be on the air today. Because I had a situation where the person that hooked up the charging station hooked it backwards, so they ran 240 volts through my 110 line and blew out all of my UPSs. So safe to say that fortunately I had UPSs. So that was kind of scary. Now I can't see why it's not giving me my notes. All right. 50-year-old speaker. That's not my notes for this. Why is this not doing it? Okay. We always got to have something be a problem. And that's going to be the problem today. All right. You got to give me my notes. You gotta. You just gotta. I don't have any of the categories for my notes. Let's make them bigger. Maybe that'll help. All right.
Well, we don't have any deaths, do we?
Wait.
We're good there.
What's this? Okay. Yes. All right. Don't have any what?
Deaths.
Deaths? I'm going to talk about some deaths, actually. Oh, there we are. Oh, that's it. Oh, they redesigned it. Okay, that makes sense. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find it. That's because they redesigned it. Wish people wouldn't redesign the things that work.
I agree.
All right, so I don't need anything but these. Okay. All right, now we can start the show. First thing I want to say is Happy Memorial Day. Do you know what Happy Memorial Day is? Do you know what Memorial Day? What Memorial Day?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
What does it memorize? Memorialize. Whew.
It's supposed to be in honor of the people who died and served in the war that have passed on.
Died and served and passed on. Both died and passed on. Okay. What if they died but they didn't pass on? Or what if they passed on and didn't die?
Passed on and died are the same thing.
Why'd you use both of those in your sentence?
Because I'm going through tea withdrawal.
Oh, okay. It says, many people visit cemeteries and memorials on Memorial Day, particularly to honor those who died in military service. Many volunteers place an American flag on each grave in national cemeteries. Memorial Day is considered the unofficial start of summer, though. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so there you go. Just sometimes you just got to sit back and say, okay, what is the reason for the season?
Some people think it's like a day off of school.
Well, some
or
people
work.
it is a day off.
Well, yeah.
School.
Some people think that it could be a time for picnics and barbecues, which, yeah, it is, but it's a way of celebrating.
Another picnic or a barbecue.
So.
Found it. I found it. Found the check. Wonder what it's doing down here.
I don't know, but now you found it.
Well, that's weird.
Hopefully it's still good.
Well, that just gave it to me like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well, put it with your phone so you don't lose it.
I can't believe that. We were talking about a check. I said, I think I lost this check. And I looked all over the house for it, and I couldn't find it.
Well, you apparently didn't look everywhere.
Well, if I did, I would have found it, wouldn't I? I just did find it. It's in the studio, which is not really the house. All right, anyway, so I blew out at least 3 UPSs and a couple surge protectors. So they do work. I want you to know that if you don't have that stuff on your equipment, you're foolish. You should always protect your equipment, because if I didn't have that on my equipment, I would have lost thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And that would have been bad. Instead, I've lost hundreds of dollars, and that's okay compared to thousands of dollars. And the one UPS, I was just going to replace the battery on it because it died and it wasn't holding a charge anymore. Well, you know what? It didn't hold a charge, but it stopped the surge.
Yep.
So, little piece of information: do not put your 240 line into your 110.
But you've got it all, and you've got your charging station in, so you're good.
That's my tip for the day. So.
Tips from Trash.
That's right. That's going to be a new segment on the show.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, all right, so we got that. I wanted to make sure I talked about that, Memorial Day. Actually, I did want to bring this up, too. So, sadly, Memorial Day, 38 shot, 5 fatally in Chicago, Memorial Day weekend of gun violence. It's weird. I mean, you would hope that you would hope people would take a day off from guns and stuff, but military mom honors fallen son with annual Memorial Day walk. That was kind of cool. And on Memorial Day, volunteers plant flags on Boston Common. So there was a negative story, and that was a baseball team ran a right-wing propaganda video in their Memorial Day salute, and it was pretty controversial because, well, let's see here. There's a video for it. Okay, so the Fresno Grizzlies put on a minor league in the minor leagues. On Memorial Day, somehow it was appropriate to show Memorial Day tribute that listed a member of Congress as an enemy of the people.
Wow.
Another insidious attempt to hijack Memorial Day for political purposes. So they basically did a tribute to Ronald Reagan. So,
if we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are
What happened? Hey.
No heroes. They just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Bellwood, the Argonne,
okay, what are we doing here?
Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice.
So far, nothing bad, right?
Right.
So far, nothing bad. Yeah. Now it's going to go from this to worse.
I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
From 1981.
Wow.
But they popped people's pictures up there that they probably shouldn't have put up there. That was controversial. So, yeah, kind of strange, but I won't. Well, maybe I will. I might do it. I might tell you. Let me see here.
You might tell me what?
Why it's controversial.
Okay.
As soon as I share the Facebook one. All right. Okay. All right. So it says on Memorial Day, it showed the video that we just showed, and it was appropriate to show the Memorial Day tribute, but it listed a member of Congress as an enemy of the people.
Oops.
So that was kind of odd, but they showed Representative Alexander
Ocasio-Cortez.
That's it. Between the images of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and the Cuban President Fidel Castro. So that became an issue because, to call him a, anti-American would be probably not very cool.
Wow.
So I thought that was interesting. But, hey, people do what they do, and they apologize. They apologize for that because they didn't really catch it, I'm sure. I'm sure that was a mistake, an honest mistake. So, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it was on purpose. I do want to talk about some deaths.
Wait a minute. Are we gonna talk about this? That thing I read to you earlier about the Home Depot?
Oh, yeah. All right, let's talk about it. Because
it has to do with Memorial Day.
Because we were talking about Memorial Day. Yeah, sure.
Well, I was just kind of scrolling through Facebook, and I saw this posting, and I'm going to read it the way he posted it.
Sure.
It says, so I just went to Home Depot on the Carlisle Pike for a few small things, and as I'm wandering around the store, I come across American flag car magnets. Being Memorial Day, I naturally grab a pack and place them in my cart. I get all my things and I'm checking out when the woman cashier decided to make a derogatory comment about my magnets. She called them sacrilegious. I am with my 2 kids, so I don't immediately snap out on her. I led my kids out of the store and told them to wait for me, and I proceed back into the store to ask her exactly what she meant, as I did not want to take her words out of context. She explains to me that she meant that our American flag is a disgrace and an ungodly, worthless piece of cloth. I say a few words about how she should keep her personal comments to herself while in the workplace and that she has no business working with customers. I then go to customer service, get a manager, and explained how insulted I am as an American by her comments. The manager is absolutely disgusted by her words, just as I am. He explains to me that she will no longer be working that register and she will go under a full review by management. He then marched right down to her and pulled her off the register and sent her home. He tried to compensate me for her actions with a gift card, but that was not what I wanted, so I didn't accept anything from them. At the end of my interaction with the manager, I went directly to the return counter and returned everything I had just bought, except my American flag magnets, of course. To say that to someone at all is wrong, but to say it on Memorial Day is what's disgraceful. I'm also wearing an American flag shirt, so she must have been doubly offended.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he has the right to do that. He has the right to wear whatever he wants. He has the right to buy whatever he wants. She doesn't have the right to say that. In fact, if she isn't fired, I'd be surprised.
Exactly.
But the idea of returning everything, I think that's just, I mean, I understand it's really meant as a token, but it's not the store's fault that she said that.
No, but I think the store took it as, you know, she's supposed to be a representation of them.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I represented the company I worked for 30 years, and nobody was happy about that.
Well, it all depends on who you talk to.
I can tell you, if I talk to 20 people, 18 of them would be unhappy that I left, but, you know, that's beside the point. Anyway, you know, it's a shame that even happens in this day and age. If you don't like where you live, you should move. If you think that bad about the country, you shouldn't live here. I mean, pretty much. That's the way I feel, but that's just me.
So let me ask you this: when you were playing that video just a little bit ago for with Ronald Reagan, have you ever been to Arlington? The National Cemetery down there?
I've never been to the National Cemetery.
You don't know what you're missing.
No, I do know what I'm missing. I really don't want to see that much death.
I know people that are buried in there. I know I've been down there when I was a little girl because that's where John F. Kennedy's buried with the eternal flame. I've seen the changing of the guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. It is really, really something to see.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
So when you want to do a road trip,
I have no need to. Really don't need to see that. I think I saw what the problem is of us having issues. Whenever I stop the video in the window, we're okay.
Hi, Nigel.
Nigel, holy cow!
And Bobby Rydell's there too.
Wow.
Woo-hoo.
It's some kind of a party or something.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Tuesday night parties.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night live. Nigel has been doing some big things. Nice to know he's making his mark in the business. And
he still remembers us little people.
I don't know. And always good to see Bobby. Okay. Here's something that is bizarre. So, Colorado climber dies after reaching the top of Mount Everest.
What?
No, wait. There's more. This is just the beginning. So, these people that want to climb the mountain just because it's there, you know, ever hear those people? Well, those people are crazy because too many people die climbing mountains. It should be illegal. It should be, but it isn't. It's legal. But here's the deal. So this guy is 62. First off, when you're 62, what in the world are you climbing mountains for?
To prove that you can do it.
Well, he couldn't do it, apparently. A Colorado climber died shortly after getting to the top of Mount Everest and achieving his dream of scaling the highest peaks of each of the 7 continents, his brother said on Monday. Christopher Coolish, a 62-year-old Boulder attorney, died at a camp below the summit during his descent. The cause isn't known yet, said his brother, but Chris had reached the top of Mount Everest with a small group of crowds of hundreds of climbers, congested the 29,000-foot or 8,800 meters peak last week, and he saw his last sunrise from the highest peak on Earth.
Wait a minute, so he died on the way down?
On the way down.
You would think he would die going up.
You would think. But either way, he died. And that's not the worst.
Really? What's worse than death?
Well,
he didn't pay his taxes?
I'll tell you that. You wanted to know? Here's what's worse than death. More death.
He didn't pay his taxes,
There's
right?
more death. No, I'm not. You're thinking I'm joking. I'm not joking about this stuff. This is nuts. These people that go out there to climb these
is tracking everything you do. With IP Vanish on your device, your internet activity is encrypted.
It says I do what I want.
See what you're doing. Your location.
And you can't stop me.
Yeah, I can as soon as my mixer shows up. So just as bad, there were a bunch of people that had died this week.
To Mount Everest, where gridlock on top of the mountain may be to blame for at least 9 deaths just this year there. Take a look at this picture. That is a literal human traffic
jam. Could you imagine?
This is the line of people
this is
waiting
what the
to
people
reach the summit.
They're trying to be at the top.
One mountain guide says difficult weather conditions and a lack of experience is contributing to this. Our senior international correspondent, Arwade Mizwan.
I just can't imagine wanting to go there.
That is remarkable to see.
I want to go to Kathmandu because that's what Bob Seger's saying about.
Not only can it happen, but it's proving to be deadly.
Yeah, Poppy, and this is why
place.
it's so deadly, because that area where all those people are backlogged, that's known as the death zone, and there's a reason why it's called the death zone.
Because they're idiots. It should be the idiot zone.
When you're at that altitude, every breath you take in only contains about 1/3 of the oxygen that it would if you were at, say, sea level. So your body is literally degrading. You are literally dying when you're there, and extra time can prove to be lethal. The waits on some days were hours long for people to reach the summit and come back down. And of those 9 people and counting who died just on the Nepalese side trying to make the summit in this very short climbing period, it's only a few weeks, most of those people died while they were on their way down, while they were descending, and most of them from altitude sickness. That is how dangerous this potentially can be, and some of them, it would seem, were aware of the dangers. There was one British climber who died. His name is Robin Haynes Fisher, and he had posted to his Instagram about his concerns about the way.
Oh, I just can't imagine. There's nothing you could do to make me go there. There's just nothing. There's nothing you can do that would make me want to climb that mountain, especially with that long line of people. There's nothing. There's not enough money in the world that you could pay me to do that.
Saying, with a single route to the summit, delays caused by overcrowding could prove to be fatal. So he, to try to mitigate that, had actually postponed his summit day for a few days, hoping that it would be less crowded. But what ends up happening is that once the weather clears, there's this big crush.
The thing is, when there's a lot of dead bodies up that they can't recover up on the mountain. There are tons of dead bodies along the way of people that died and they just got covered with snow because you can't recover all the bodies. And there's a lot of people that die up there. I mean, a lot. There is just how many? How many was it? It was like 6 on that.
I thought it said 9.
9? It's the first year, plus this guy that just died. It's nuts. Why? Why would you put yourself through that kind of stuff? I realize that it's the dream of some people to do that, but you know what you can do? Rent a video. There's a video of somebody that did that, and you can pretend you were in that.
I know how to do it. I've got the perfect way to do it. And it's something I saw. It can be done just the way they did it on Amazing Race.
Somehow, I just don't think you're going to tell me, but go ahead.
On Amazing Race, they were in, where were they?
Harrisburg?
No, Dubai. They were in Dubai, I believe. And they had to go to the top of the tallest building in the world. Okay? And they thought that they were going to jump from the top of this building down to the ground. So everybody's choosing this so they can keep going. Well, here what it was a virtual reality simulation.
Okay.
So
that would be
they had to
better.
Be like they were actually, getting all this and getting up to the top and then jump down. Then they had to take a test. And they had to answer 5 questions. Both players, both competitors, but they couldn't share answers. It was just based on what they had seen. And they couldn't go till both team members got the questions right. But it was funny sitting there watching them. They're going, "Oh, we're going to do the jump. It's one thing. We don't have to find 5 dinosaur eggs dressed up like a dinosaur. We'll just jump once and we'll be done." And it wasn't that at all.
Well,
so that's how they do it. They climb Mount Everest in a virtual reality sort of way.
That's like a golf simulator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except the golf simulator, you're probably going to live. Here's another story about Everest. It says, Everest traffic jam survivor calls for tougher rules. Again, it's nuts that these people are putting their lives at risk for a stupid climb. And it says here, Amisha Chauhan, I think I got that name right. Let's see if it says if she. Climbers warning. Amisha said she's recovering. She's in the hospital right now. She's recovering from frostbite. She gave this warning to climbers without basic skills.
You can tell she wasn't a ninja.
She says that I saw some climbers without basic skills, fully relying on their Sherpa guides. The government should fix the qualification criteria. Only trained climbers can die on the mountain. Oh, it doesn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. I'm inserting that. Only trained climbers should die on the mountain. But the thing is, it just doesn't make... I mean, I realize I don't understand things like skydiving and this mountain climbing thing.
Skydiving, I can tell you. I've never done it, but I know somebody who has. And it's the thrill of being so far up and coming, just free-falling.
Yeah, I don't need that.
But, see, he's not scared of heights, so that's the thing. You cannot be scared of heights when you do it.
Those are the people that die, the people that are not afraid of heights. Because the people that are afraid of heights aren't going to do it.
True.
All right.
Unless they're pushed.
All right, here we go. Oh, hey, hello. Little background music. It says here 10 people have died in a little more than 2 weeks after poor weather cut the climbing window, leaving mountaineers waiting in long lines to the summit. After risking exhaustion and running out of oxygen. That's the big thing, running out of oxygen. Nepal issued a record 381 permits this season, and several hundred of them, of the summiteers, are not properly trained and make poor decisions and put their own. I'm thinking that's going to be life at risk, and also the Sherpa guides. I don't know what a Sherpa guide is, but I would imagine that's somebody. The 29-year-old Indian had to wait 20 minutes to come down from the 29,000-foot mountain. But others were held up for hours. At least 4 deaths on the world's highest mountain have been blamed on the the overcrowding with teams waiting sometimes for hours in the death zone, which we talked about just a few minutes ago. So, I mean, the people are crazy to do this stuff. I don't know.
Okay, here's what a Sherpa guide is.
Thinking that's somebody that guides Sherpas.
The Sherpa is an experienced guide leading groups on climbs of Mount Everest. The definition of a Sherpa is a Tibetan person living on the south side of the Himalaya Mountains in Nepal who has excellent skills in climbing mountains. An example of a Sherpa is a skilled Tibetan mountain climber with endurance at high altitudes.
Jeez. All right. And some climbers died due to their own negligence. They insist on reaching the top even if their oxygen's running low. Now, I got to say, just out of this is not the same, but it's kind of interesting. I was watching ice road truckers in other locations. One of the locations they were in was India.
Yes.
And they had to go up all these mountains in these little itty-bitty roads. And you got to see it. It's ice road. It's IRT. Impossible or something. It has to do with Impossible Roads or whatever. If you get a chance to watch it, it's really interesting. But when they were getting to the top of some of these mountains, they couldn't breathe right.
I remember you showing me that, yeah.
In fact, their trucks didn't run right either because
the diesel couldn't get the air. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, those things are real things. But I don't know. I just can't imagine. Now, as I said before, another climber, the adventure filmmaker, posted on Instagram on Sunday that he had reached the summit of Everest and cannot believe what I saw up there. Death, carnage, chaos, lineups, dead bodies on the route, and in tents at Camp 4. People who I tried to turn back who ended up dying. People being dragged down, walking over bodies. Everything you read in the sensational headlines all played out in our summit last night. So these things are real. These people are really putting their lives at risk, and I just can't see any point in doing that, especially if you have a family. If you're a single guy and your family... All right, now I'm justifying why I should go. If you're a single guy and your family could care less about what's going on in your life and would like you better dead, then okay, then if you want to die, then go. But anyway, here's another story on that. 4 bodies and 10 tons of rubbish collected from Mount Everest. So they're not only dying there, they're really making a mess of it. Because the people there are pigs. The people that aren't dying are pigs. 4 bodies have been retrieved from Everest and some 10 tons of garbage plucked from the mountain at the end of this year's climbing season. Again, we don't need to destroy the earth. At least clean up after yourselves. And, I mean, I'll forgive the people that died. They can't really clean up after themselves. But still... I read that. I'm thinking all this stuff about Mount Everest this week is just amazing. And there was one last story, I think. Yeah, here it is. Oh, well, that's the one we talked about first, the lawyer. He was the 11th person to die this year, according to ABC News. And so it just seems, I just can't fathom it. I try to figure out why people do this kind of stuff, and I mean, I just can't understand it. So, Carolyn is in your chat room.
Oh, hi, Caroline.
And but anyway, that's enough for that story. But I mean, a lot of stories in the news this week about Mount Everest. So, you pulled up an interesting article, and the Restaurant Impossible.
Oh.
So, so to set the stage, Restaurant Impossible is back.
Yes.
And after probably 4 years of not being on the air, he said he was getting all these letters of people asking him to come back and save the restaurant. And I saw the first 4 of the season. Mm-hmm. They're just as crazy as the last set of people. I love that show. and they came to a place in town here called the Dodge City.
Right.
Now, you showed me an article. Did you send that to me or not?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did, okay. All right, I'll pick it up there. I think, maybe not. That one's dead. Okay. All right. Okay, that could be one of the problems we have is we ran out of memory. All right. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get it. But yeah, so I got to eat in a restaurant when he worked on the place in Harrisburg, and that was kind of cool. And it's just being a pain in the butt. It won't let me retrieve.
Well, they pretty much, from what I'm seeing here, they were taping an upcoming episode today.
I got it.
Okay.
Here we go, hopefully. All right, here we go. All right, sooner or later, we will go. Hopefully, it will work. There we go. Food Network. All right, so they're coming back to Dodge City, and it says returns to Harrisburg. Welcome, Burger Battle judges and fans is on it. But in 2013, they did Dodge City, and the steakhouse. When I went there, it was pretty good. It was after he was there. So 8 years ago, Robert Irvine hosted the Food Network's Restaurant Impossible, called Dodge City Steakhouse. Crab cakes rubbish. The relationship with Harrisburg's restaurant owners Doug and Debbie Crick could have quickly gone south, but long after the crews left and the show aired, Irvine remained faithful to the family. These are my success stories, or one of my biggest success stories I've ever had, Irvine said in 2018, visiting the Harrisburg area. Talk about great people, number one. But talk about a restaurant that was failing, that didn't deserve to fail. These are the ones that listened. Restaurant Impossible's paying a return visit. And it says here, celebrity chef and fitness guru, co-owner of Boardroom Spirits, signs bottles of the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store at Capital City in March 29th of 2018. Sean Simmers. And that's the guy that that took the picture. It says, according to a post on Dodge City's Facebook page, a production crew is taping an upcoming episode today being May 28th, at the restaurant on Paxton Street. And it says here, a request was made for diners to make reservations for the event, but we hear tables are filled. No word if Irvine, the celebrity chef known for his muscles and British accent, will be on hand. The makeup show attempts to turn failing restaurants around in 48 hours, revamping dining rooms, menus, and restaurant owners' attitudes. It was canceled in 2016, but resurrected for a 14th season. So that was 3 years ago. No word on when the episode will air. The Crick said they are not permitted to talk about the show with the media until after it appears.
How dare they do that on a Tuesday night? Don't they know that this is the best night of the week, that they should do this some other night?
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, it says the restaurant was one of the early victims of Irvine's sledgehammer. Back in 2011, the Cricks admitted that they were struggling and in debt. Their restaurant was dated and in need of an overhaul. So I think it's really cool. I think it's pretty neat that he actually...
In all the years I've lived here, I've never been there. I pass it all the time.
It's not a cheap place, first off. That's one thing I didn't like about it was expensive. But the food wasn't bad. It was, but you're a picky eater, so...
Hey, as long as there's chicken on there, I'm fine.
Well, most steakhouses will have chicken.
I'll do steak, too.
But...
You give me a New York strip, and I'm happy.
You want the same stripper that Pam liked, the naked cowboy?
Woohoo!
So, all right. Okay, so now let's see here. Oh, this was awesome. You'll like this. This guy here is a 90-year-old speeder.
Oh, jeez.
And he was caught. He was caught, and here's his actual thing from the police. He's in court right now, and I think you'll find this somewhat entertaining. I did. So, okay. I guess I gotta hit this.
Inspector Carrigan.
Yes, sir.
You want to stand next to Mr. Upton, please?
So this was.
I don't hear good. I'll never hear.
He doesn't hear very good.
Okay, sir. I'll help you. Okay.
Yeah. You like this?
Do I give him this here? No, sir. He'll have that. Oh, you got that? Yeah. Okay. You got to speak into the mic, though, sir. To be 90, you know. Yes. I was driving my wife over to the hospital on Blackstone Boulevard, and you had to take a right there. So I guess I speeded up a little bit or something. I don't know. I haven't had a ticket in, I don't know, 30 years or something.
30 years without a ticket.
Wow.
So
can we all say that? No.
I can.
30 years without a ticket?
Mm-hmm.
You have never had a ticket.
How many years have I been driving? Over 30? Okay, well, maybe I can't.
I won't say that I haven't had one in 30 years because that means I'll have one tomorrow, next time I drive, because that's the way it happens. So anyway, so you hadn't had a ticket in 30 years.
No. I don't know. I just wonder what I could do with it, you know.
I know next month he's going to be 90 years old.
He's saying next month that you're going to be 90 years old, sir. Yeah.
How old is your wife?
My wife's 87.
Oh. How many years?
You go to the gym, would you believe that? Yes, I would. How many years have you been married, sir? Yeah. Oh, now that's a tough one. 67 or something like that.
Doesn't
67 years. How many children? How many children?
How many children do you have, sir? I have 3.
3. Now, do your children know that you're becoming a hot rodder?
Hot rod 30. What was it, 30? No, I don't drive very fast. No. I couldn't believe I got a ticket.
You got 1 mile over what we charge. Actually, it was 2 miles over what we charge.
Believe it or not, 2 miles over.
Inspector Quinn. 2 miles over.
Your Honor, with the unblemished driving record and the explanation from the motorist, the city would move to dismiss with a warning, and I'm sure he will not be coming back. More importantly, though, Your Honor,
Inspector Quinn, tell him.
Inspector Quinn is moving to
Inspector Quinn is going to put him on probation for 20 years.
Inspector Quinn is going to put you on probation for 20 years. Yeah, I'll probably make it. Yeah, okay.
No, we want him to report back here 20 years from now.
From 20 years from now, you have to come back in. Oh, okay. No problem.
and we'll both still be here till at that time. Judge, what I'm more impressed with is the motorist with that hat. He actually did happen to stick around long enough to see the Red Sox win not 1 but 4 World Series.
Yeah, Inspector Quinn.
You said you stuck around long enough to see the 4 World Series wins. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That may impress him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but wait a minute. He might be a Yankee fan. No.
I wish court hearings went like this.
That may impress Inspector Quinn. What impresses me is that he was driving his wife to the hospital. Yes. He's still taking care of his wife at 90 years old. They've been married over 60 years. This is a great American story. Good luck to you, sir. The case is dismissed.
Sir, the case is dismissed. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I saw one of those.
Who doesn't love Joe Upton?
Like
At
one of
90 years
those
old,
things where the guy was a veteran and he went through a red light. And here what had happened was that somebody wrote into the court with a check for $30 and said, you know, that they've always paid it forward to veterans, and he wanted to pay it forward, and he didn't know who to pay it forward to, so he was hoping that the courts could help him decide. And here, just by luck, the judge got this letter with a check for $30, so that's what was to pay the whatever it was for the guy going through the red light.
Jeez. Well, here's the other bad. I didn't do a whole lot of crime ones this week. That's a change because usually I've been doing a lot of crime ones. 7-week-old girl found at the bottom of a ravine. A North Carolina mom is charged with attempted murder.
Ugh. No.
See, there's so many people out there that want kids and would do anything to have kids. Pam was one of them. She would have loved to have had kids. And you have these idiots out there that would rather kill their kid than give it away. And then it's really hard to even adopt nowadays because there's so many weird things that go on. We were going to become foster parents at one point, and then they wanted to know everything about you. I mean, it was so invasive. I just said, no, I don't want to. And I don't really have anything they could dig up about me.
Right.
I just didn't really want to deal with it. It just was too much. But this little,
Well, I remember you telling me when you guys were doing your lawsuit and stuff that they were asking you questions that were almost as invasive as, like, what did Pam weigh in high school, and you couldn't.
That was something like, it was an actual question, which I didn't know her back then.
Exactly.
And that was just horrible. But anyway, here's the North Carolina story. It's sad.
Harrowing story for you on Mother's Day weekend. A North Carolina mother has been charged with attempted murder. She was initially reported as being kidnapped with her 7-week-old baby.
See, those kind of people irritate me even more because they say their kid was kidnapped and they know where the kid is. They're Casey Anthony people.
Investigators now say 35-year-old Krista Noel Madden threw her baby down a 50 to 75-foot ravine and abandoned her.
How can anybody do that?
Madden at a nearby church where she told them she had escaped her kidnapper. The baby was found in the backyard of a couple who heard the child crying. Police say the child has been admitted to a hospital and is in good condition.
Oh, that's good.
Madden is being held on a $750,000 bond.
I'm glad that the baby fooled her.
Leaders came
But you know what's wrong? What's going
to
to happen now is the kid's going to get better, and they're going to give it back to the mother. And then the mother's going to kill her for real. Because that's the way that the law works. And it's just really... And look at her. She's a young kid. I mean, well, she's 35.
Oh, I didn't understand what I was doing.
Oh, I was depressed.
Postpartum depression, yep. That does it every time.
35 years. It makes me sad because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to have a kid and would love to do anything if they could to get kids.
And I mean, postpartum depression is real. It definitely is. But sometimes people just exaggerate it just a little bit too much.
It saddens me. It really does. And I'm not a big kid lover. If anything, I'm probably the worst when it comes to that kind of thing, but, I don't know.
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, I know what I'm missing. I know because I see what other people go through.
Yeah, you do have a kid. Come here, buddy.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Okay, so the box office. This week, according to the box office, Aladdin came in at $113 million, which is still more than you said and more than I said. So that's pretty darn good. I can tell you that I told you it was going to do well. I just didn't know how high I wanted to go on that because, it just seems to. I mean, there's some big box office ones. Normally, I don't like this kind of movie because there's too much singing and dancing.
I know.
But I like this movie. And I honestly thought that it was a lot better than it should have been.
I thought of that whenever we were sitting there watching it and they started the singing and dancing, and I'm saying to myself, Oh, he doesn't like singing and dancing, so
Because it
this
wouldn't
ought to
happen.
be good.
Tell me when that would have happened. First off, if you're in that situation, there's no instruments around, and how does everybody know how to dance in unison like that? Tell me.
Practice.
No, they're not supposed to practice. They didn't look like they were practicing. So I just kind of really didn't like the dancing and singing thing, but I did like the movie. So that's that.
Aladdin continues to be a treasure for Disney. The live-action feature grossed $112.7 million stateside and an estimated $121 million internationally.
That's pretty big. That's got to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
As most already know, the Guy Ritchie directed film, a rehashing of the studio's 1992 animated classic, stars Will Smith as the genie.
Will Smith
and
looked
Nina
pretty good.
Masood as Aladdin, a charming street rat who masquerades as a prince to win the affections of Princess Jasmine, played by Naomi Scott. Produced by Dan Lin and Jonathan Irick's Rideback, Aladdin opened wide in 4,400 locations.
That helped,
The movie
too,
musical is a
being open in
success
more
for Disney
theaters.
and its live-action adaptations after Tim Burton's Dumbo had a disappointing opening weekend of just $45.9 million in North America.
Which one did you like better?
I liked them both the same.
I think I liked Aladdin better. I think I did. Although there was
I
no
like
singing.
Will Smith, don't get me wrong.
Earlier this
Do you like a blue one? A blue Will Smith?
It was different.
year. To put it into perspective, in its opening weekend, Aladdin earned more than The Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was awesome. I love that one.
$103.2 million in its 2016 debut, but came in behind the Emma Watson starring Beauty and the Beast, which collected $174.7 million when it premiered back in 2017. But unlike Aladdin, both The Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast did not have the added benefit of a holiday weekend opening. Also hitting theaters over the holiday was Olivia Wilde's R-rated high school comedy Booksmart, which opened wide at 2,505 locations. The Annapurna comedy faced heavy competition from Aladdin and earned a solid but not substantial $8.7 million.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Screen Gems and the Age Collective's superhero horror film Brightburn posted a three-day gross of $9.5 million at 2,257
I
locations.
will tell you that movie
Overall,
there
the 2019
surprised me.
Memorial Day weekend box office, which will have an estimated $226 million in stateside sales, was flat, coming in below the $227.7 million worth of domestic ticket sales in 2018, when Star Wars spin-off Solo opened to a disappointing
Yeah, people didn't like
$103
Solo,
million over
unfortunately.
the 4-day weekend. For a full box office roundup,
The movie was pretty good. It was, but the Brightburn was really kind of an interesting movie from the standpoint of the premise was basically if Superboy was found and didn't know he was super and ran into all these people picking on him. And was abused, for bullied. Would he have turned out the same way? Is basically the premise. I mean, it wasn't Superboy, just to say, but what if? What if? And that's how movies are. They're all what ifs. By the way, I didn't tell you this because it just happened. Do you remember when I did the audition down in D.C.?
Yeah.
They got another one coming.
Cool.
This Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. So I got to decide if I want to go to that. That's got to be 11 a.m. this Saturday, which would mean I'd have to get up extra early to get there. Well, the car would drive itself. But I'm thinking I might. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking I might want to go. And if so, I'll have my black shirt ready this time, and I can do the thing, the official headshot thing. But anyway. Kind of cool. It's it's something I would like to do is get my foot in the door on that. So, all right, let's see. I'll do that to close the show. All right, so we did that one. It says here. Wait a minute.
if you're in HR,
Stop
your
it.
team.
I don't want to see that. Anyway, according to this, it says here, Aladdin star Naomi Scott dishes on dancing with Will Smith in Aladdin. It's an exclusive.
Ooh.
An exclusive thing. So
She's putting sticky notes on your monitor.
I'm going to take them off right now.
That dress! The entire dress!
This is, instead of my family, I just bought a train.
That was Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
Tell me about this dress and the perils of walking down a red carpet with Will Smith.
I mean, it's pretty crazy, but you know, why not?
Why not?
This is Brandon Maxwell custom, and we got sketches, you know, of this months ago, and it's just been a constant, you know, conversation, you know, color, silhouette, all of that stuff. But you know what? I love it. It's so much fun doing all of that. You know, you can get to be creative. Why not?
I think it is creative. You were also part of the Crosswalk Karaoke. How was that? What was that like? Tell me, give me details. Tell me everything.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I think it was funny because I was like,
anyway,
you know, the whole
bottom
gag
line
is
is
like how dangerous it's going to be.
I don't know if
and
they
then
do the actual dance. Let me see here. Let's see if she's dancing at all.
Screen,
I don't see her dancing.
What was it like?
I don't think in that dress.
Because I'm.
How do you? Oh, you can do it.
That's a long dress.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's from the movie.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Because he knows what's up.
Okay. New song. You're adding a new song to this Aladdin, which kind of changes the feel of it. How important is that? Changing the vibe and adding something new to a classic.
I think, you know, it's always about honouring what's gone before. You know, it was personal to me because I love this character. So it wasn't about kind of changing. It was just about progressing. You know, it was a natural progression. It's been 27 years since the original. And it's just, you know, it's humanising her. That's my job. And that's what I try to do.
I mean, the thing that's cool about that movie is that it was using people instead of animation.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of cool that they were able to pull that off, because that's pretty tough to go from one to the other, because, you know, cartoons can do anything. You can fly, you can whatever, but...
Well, if you saw that movie, they can fly.
Well, they had a magic carpet.
You didn't see the genie. I mean, he wasn't on the carpet. He was flying.
Well, he's a genie. Genies do whatever genies do. Anyway, but I thought it was kind of cool the way they pulled it off. So that was a neat movie. Talking about Elton John, he's in the news because of a movie, some stupid movies, and says Elton John refused to tone it down.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about this.
The sex and drugs in Rocket Man.
Wait a minute. What did I see? Hold on.
I don't know what you saw. Says Elton John isn't shying away from his wild days. In fact, he said he pushed the producers of Rocket Man for an honest portrayal of his sex and cocaine-fueled days of the past. That was, you know, it's kind of cool because he wasn't looking at cleaning up his reputation. He wanted it to look like it really was. So that is something that many of the people would have probably wanted to make themselves look better, because it doesn't make him look good that he was in all that drug stuff. So some studios wanted to tone the sex and drugs so that the film would get a PG-13 rating. So instead of probably I'm thinking it got an R rating. I didn't want a film packed with drugs and sex.
Yep.
But equally, everyone knows I did quite a bit of drugs during the 70s and 80s, so there didn't seem to be much point in making a movie that implied that every gig, implied that after every gig I'd quietly gone back to my hotel room with only a glass of warm milk and Gideon's Bible for company. So, I mean, I applaud him for being honest, because a lot of people could have been dishonest about that movie, about their lives. I mean, I would certainly want to hide some things about my life if I was open up about that, because we all have skin of some sort. So, but anyway, I really applaud him for that, because I think that he did the right thing with that. So.
I wonder if they're going to have the movie or the song "Candle in the Wind" as part of that.
I would imagine. Which one, though?
Yeah, true.
I thought he cheated on that. He should have written a new song instead of stealing his own song. But anyway, here's the video.
You said that the decision to do a farewell tour is because you want to spend more time with your children. Your tour is, though, 3
what? 3
years long.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a long time to sit there.
Anxiety thinking about just more time away from your children?
We're going to take them with us for 9 months when we're in Australia and Japan.
I wonder how many children she's got.
So we'll see a lot of them.
You will.
It's a decision that was made in 2015 in the summer. When we originally had the children, we took them everywhere with us when they were born because they were portable. And then, of course, when they started to start real school, David, my husband, sat down and said, listen, this is the term times, this is when they have holidays, this is when half term. What do you want to do? You know, you always said you wanted to die on stage, and now the situation has changed. You have children, we have children. I said, I don't want to continue doing this. I don't really do big tours. I'm always working. I
don't think I've ever seen him come around here at all.
He's supposed to be in Hershey, or was in Hershey at one point, I thought.
I don't know.
100 shows a year. So this is an elaborate tour with an elaborate production, an elaborate stage set, and I'm going to be saying...
I think he likes intimate type settings. Like, if you look at this screen here today, it looks like it's, there's people pretty much all around him for the most part. It's not like a stadium. It's more like a big ballroom.
Thank you to all the people around the world that made my career so successful. And the boys will be a big part of that. And then when I finish, then I'll have their...
How old are his kids? They look pretty young there. They look like they're like 10 and 12 or something. They look pretty young.
See if I can...
Oh, it should be right on the side.
It just says 2.
Oh, it doesn't say? Okay.
Not
look
there.
under family.
That's what I'm looking.
But I doubt that it'll even tell that, because that would be... but they look pretty young.
They'll have my full attention.
Oh, that's it. I stopped it for that. It was already done. If I had known that, I would have finished it. I saw I heard a Howard Stern interview with Bon Jovi. That was pretty good. It was probably an old one, but it sounded pretty good. I heard it this morning when I was listening, when I was getting myself together. It was an interesting thing. If it doesn't have their ages in there, it probably doesn't say.
Okay, the oldest one was born on Christmas Day 2010.
Okay.
And their youngest son was born January 11th, 2013.
So the one's 9.
Yeah.
And the one's
5.
5. Okay.
6.
6, whatever.
Yeah.
I was close. But yeah, I just I think it's interesting. Really kind of. I didn't know he had any kids.
Yeah, they were born through the same surrogate.
Okay, well that's cool. All right, here you go with another thing about Elton. The song-filled Rocket Man shoots for the stars and beyond. So we don't know what it's going to be, but it may be. You might be right. It may end up coming into a pretty big thing. So the guy who's playing Elton John is called Taron Egerton. So that's the thing about, I'll tell you, I really loved him as a kid. As a kid, he was the music that just sang to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, as he progressed, I kind of got away from his style of music, but I do remember the song that I remember the most is Tiny Dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why?
Because Tina Turner did it.
No. I don't think she did that song. Not the same one.
Oh, okay.
When I was 21, I told the story before, but I didn't tie it to Tiny Dancer.
Okay.
When I was 21, I spent my birthday alone in a stripper bar.
Oh.
And the song that the girl came out to was Tiny Dancer.
Okay.
So, as sad as I was because I didn't have anyone to spend my 21st birthday with, except a stripper, it wasn't so bad with her. So, anyway, let's see what it says here. My 2 favorite things about Elton John: the live and very funky version of "Take Me to the Pilot" on the album 171170, and the duet of Benny and the Jets he did with Cher on the Cher Show in 1975. Both can be found on YouTube.
Benny and the Jets.
The newest of the classic rock biographies will inevitably and understandably be compared to Bohemian Rhapsody, but take this as either a warning or a piece of good news. Rocket Man is a deeper and richer film. Doesn't give its subject a whitewashing or try to clean up any naughty bits about the flamboyant Elton John. It kicks off with a fully and outrageously costumed Elton showing up at a support group, ready to talk about his problems with alcohol, cocaine, sex, bulimia, shopping, and more. What were you like as a child? Asks the group leader. He answers by launching the song "The Bitch Is Back." Lyric: I was justified when I was 5, and the film shifts to its first flashy flashback, showing a 5-year-old Elton, then called Reggie Dwight, in less than happy home environment, surrounded by his unpleasant mom, an unrecognizable Bryce Dallas Howard, by his nasty dad, Stephen McIntosh, and his sympathetic grandma, Gemma Jones. It was a troubling time for Reggie, but he's drawn to the family piano, and he's a natural player where he finds escape and solace. From there, the film gets to jumping between adult Elton in the group session telling a story and back in time to the stories he's telling. There's low-key drama in the brief group scenes where Elton at first pretends to be a relatively contented man, but as soon it is soon shown to be the unhappiest fellows as layers of bad memories are revealed, and then out of those flashbacks. So, I mean, the thing is, I like that he's being honest, and to me, that's the most important part about a movie like this, is that you don't want to see the candy-coated, oh, everything was great. You want to see what drove that guy to be what he is.
Right.
And judging from the clips they've shown, man, there was some there were some times that I could understand that he definitely went through a lot to get where he got. And you know, we're going to see, I think we're going to see a pretty good story out of this whole thing. So,
I can't wait.
Well, you're going to have to wait. So,
yeah, I know.
Chris Hemsworth is in the news. He talks about why he turned down Star Trek 4.
Ooh.
Now, he was in Star Trek 3, I think, as the father of Chris Pine.
Okay.
I don't remember this, so I'm going to have to watch it again. But it says here, Chris Hemsworth won't boldly go back to where no man has gone before anytime soon. So, and by the way, well, we'll talk about that Chris too. It says while the Thor's actor future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is up in the air, there's still interest in bringing him back to the franchise that helped jumpstart his career, Star Trek. Hemsworth does a lot with a very little screen time in the J.J. Abrams wonderfully entertaining 2009 reboot of Star Trek. So I'm going to have to dig that back out because I can't remember him being in it. Delivering an emotional performance during George Kirk's final moments in the opening monologue, the role that put Hemsworth on a number of people's radars. So he's saying that role of being Captain Kirk's dad, even though it was a short role, opened people a lot to what he can do. Okay. And given the idea that, or given that Star Trek introduced the idea of multiverse of sorts, the door has been open for Hemsworth to return for a larger role in the franchise for some point. Now, Chris Pine and Hemsworth are both supposed to be in the next Star Trek.
Okay.
But apparently the studios came back and asked them to take a pay cut for the next one.
Uh-oh.
And both of them guys are in some pretty big movies, and they're not so sure that they want to take a pay cut. So, you know.
I would be willing to give up a zero if they let me in the movie.
I'm sure. But I don't think you have what Hemsworth has.
But it's a zero.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, I thought.
Not with him.
Oh.
He doesn't work for zeros. Spice Girls are out on the touring scene. They opened their first tour in, 20 years or whatever. I don't know what it is, but the Spice Girls tour hit with awful sound problems for the second night.
Oh, jeez.
So they are... it's not all... How many Spice Girls were there?
4.
Then they are all the same ones. That's all? I thought, for some reason, I thought there were more.
Well,
I could have sworn that there were more than 4 of them. So, yeah, I mean, if there's 4 of them, they got them all. But I thought there was at least 5 or more.
Hold on.
But I don't know because I was really not a Spice Girl fan. And the only thing I like about Spice Girls is that, they don't have Baby Spice. Baby Spice isn't there.
Oh, maybe.
Do they? Let me see. It says... 9 years. 9 years the last time they were together. It says here...
This is driving me crazy trying to read with my glasses.
Oh. Fans of the Spice Girls are demanding refunds after the girl group's long-anticipated reunion tour was plagued by sound problems. For the second
there is 5.
There is. Okay, Baby's missing then, I think. Several attendees complained they struggled to hear the British bands during their performance at the stadium in Cardiff, Wales. And amazing show from the Spice Girls, but the sound was terrible. Can barely hear vocals. That may be a good thing.
Yeah, because there was Scary, Sporty, Baby, Ginger, and Posh.
Well, one of them is missing. Well, let's see here. Mel B, Emma Bunton, Jerry Halliwell, and Melanie C.
Then Posh is missing because that's Victoria Beckham and she's in England.
Okay. Well, is she married to
Yep.
the good-looking guy?
Mm-hmm. David Beckham.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, because they are all hobsnobbing with the Queen.
Well, there you go. So they must have gotten pretty good if they got 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1 out of 5 doesn't have to listen to the complaints because she wasn't there. But anyway, it's an amazing show, I guess. But they're 9 years older.
Wow.
When did they came out in the mid-90s, right?
I believe so. After I
just for some reason, well, I'll teach you. I don't know much about the Spice Girls, but they were around. I don't know when they were around actually, because I never really listened to them. Let's see.
They were formed in 1994.
Okay, I was thinking 95, so that's good. All right, so I'm not too far off. Anyway, so that's the. Okay, close those windows. And all right. Next, it says here, John Wick. You know that was that movie that I said I liked it better than the other 2.
Right.
Well, so did everybody else, I guess. John Wick, Part 3. It says here, box office. Keanu Reeves tops John Wick 2 as Pikachu passes 350 million mark. 350 million for that Pikachu movie. That's just wild. So what it says here is in the holdover for the weekend that isn't about Avengers. It says here, John 3, Parabellum, earned $24.7 million. That's less than 57% less than last time. In its second Friday, Saturday weekend, that's better. That's a better hold than Deadpool 2. And it says, but not as strong as Pitch Perfect 2 and Mad Max on the same weekend. There, nonetheless, that still gives it a $75 million budget. That's how much they paid for that, $75 million.
Wow.
Threequel, $100 million 10-day domestic. So we can expect $30 million Friday, Saturday, holiday weekend for $107 million for 11-day total. So that's not bad for that movie. I mean, like I said, that was the best of the three, I think, because at least it had a plot that was better.
Okay.
I didn't really think that the Wick movies were good at all, but that was the best of the three. So I found that interesting. And
well, I did send you something else too, that there was a battle on Twitter over a name.
With John Wick? Or?
No.
Okay, well, as soon as I get done with the John Wick, I'll do that.
Okay.
It says in just 10 days, the three is the biggest winner in the franchise. Which, like I said, it was. I don't know if they're books or what they are, but John Wick just. I didn't think the first one was. I didn't think the first two were good at all. So.
Okay.
I guess somebody did. Somebody thinks it was. You said you sent me it?
Yes.
All right. Gotta get what you sent me here. And there you go. All right. Let's see what it is. Twitter breaks.
Twitter battle breaks out.
Over the best flavor of popular.
Over the name and the best flavor of a popular summer treat.
Okay.
Okay, if you scroll down.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Keep going. There should be a picture there somewhere. Oh, maybe it's back up. That's weird.
I don't have a picture at all.
Because there's a picture here.
Oh, here it is.
There. What would you call those?
I mean, freezer pops.
Well, some people call them freezer pops. Some people call them otter pops. Some people call them Zooper Doopers.
Well, the ones I used to get,
they're all the same
actually
thing.
Said freezer pops on them.
Yep, that's what we called them too, freezer pops.
Okay.
Now, which flavor do you think was the best?
In my eyes, I liked orange.
I did too. But a grape is a close second. But I had to be careful because after a while my teeth got so sensitive that they hurt. And I usually, a lot of times, I would wait till it melted and then drink it.
Well, wait a minute. What was the point of this now?
The point is, what would you... I mean, there was a battle on Twitter over the name of these. What is the right name? And then what flavor was the best?
And what was the answer?
Well, somebody said...
Do we have a definitive answer? Or?
Tuesday morning, this question had 2,636 retweets and over 22,000 likes. And let me go down and see if it says it. I don't think it really says, but it's like there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, there is.
No, there isn't.
If they say freezer pops on them, they're freezer pops.
Yes, but depending on where you buy them, they could be called otter pops.
But if it doesn't say otter pop on it, it's still a freezer pop. That's my opinion.
I'm going to have to look because I know I have some at home.
Oh, I haven't had those in 30 years, I think.
At least that, yeah.
Yeah, at least that's what I think.
But yeah, I like the orange ones the best.
Yeah. That's like the freezer pops that I have bought, or the ice cream that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite ones is the creamsicle.
Yes.
So.
The creamsicles I like have alcohol in them. Whoops!
You're an alcoholic.
No, I'm not. I haven't had one in years.
Mm-hmm.
At least a creamsicle, that is.
I was going to say, you haven't had one, but maybe 2 or 3.
No, I've been actually very good.
Okay. All right, Batman's in the news again.
Did he get married?
There's going to be a new Batman.
Now who?
Well, that's up for debate. I don't know. It could be this guy. I don't really know if he is going to be a Batman or not. But, that's not a good one for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make it.
Well, that's pretty. They must have taken him off the list.
Okay, that's good.
Well, that's.
I don't like him either.
Well, that's kind of sad because it didn't have new Batman. Okay, here we go. New Batman 2021. Here we go. Did DC just confirm Robert Pattinson as Batman? No. Did he? Oh, I guess they have. It's a different one. It's different than the one that was in my news story.
Uh-oh.
I don't know who Robert Pattinson is. I heard that Willem Dafoe was going to be.
Okay.
Well, he's too young. Batman should be older. I don't know. The sun set on Ben Affleck. No, I really like Ben Affleck as Batman, and I really am kind of bummed that he's not going to be not going to continue.
But to me, Adam West is always going to be Batman.
Well, yeah. According to the new report from Variety, Robert Pattinson is the latest actor to go under the cowl. The Good Time actor will stop. What? Good Time? What does that mean?
Well, I don't.
Was he in Good Times?
I don't know. Let me find out.
Well, let's see if.
What was his name?
That's really Robert Pattinson. Okay. Will star in the Batman for War of the Planet of the Apes. Director Matt Reeves. So the Planet of the Apes director Matt Reeves is doing the Doom Batman too. The movie will reboot the property after Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman and Dawn of Justice and Justice League. Says here, pictures did not. Warner Brothers did not want to confirm Variety's casting to Polygon, while Deadline reports the X-Men Dark Phoenix actor Nicholas Hoult may still be in the running. Well, geez, now is it him or isn't it? Those who know Pattinson from Twilight era have overlooked a formidable actor who capitalized on fame to turn hard into the art scene. And in recent years, he's collaborated with David Cronenberg, the Zeller brothers, James Gray, and most recently French auteur Claire Denis in the simply wild sci-fi film High Life. I am curious about that because, like I said, I had an article that was talking about Willem Dafoe being. Wait a minute. Well, Willem Dafoe weighs in on Pattinson casting rumors. Okay, all right. Well, then that's okay. That means he's confirming. I was thinking Willem Dafoe would be interesting as Batman, but I've always liked him as a bad guy. But the Batman movie, the next one, may be the start of the entire Gotham cinematic universe. So the problem is that they have not done really well in comparison to what the Avengers were doing.
Okay.
So they just aren't doing the numbers because their writing has not been as good as the Avengers movies. And they're a lot darker and a lot more not as light as the Avengers. Because the Avengers always had something funny to say about things, and, we didn't have that with Batman and all that. What's this? That can't be the... What is that? Trying to figure... Oh, this must be the new... Oh, that's interesting. All right, we'll have to watch this together because I have not seen this. So we'll have to watch it together. All right. So this looks like a trailer for... Wait, that's the trailer from the... I think that's a trailer from the last movie.
There are enemies out of your mind. I'm not the one who brought a pitchfork.
It's the foreign trailer because it's in Japanese.
It's on him.
I don't think that what happened here. Oh, we must have hit a button somewhere. Hey,
we don't have to recognize it.
Trying to figure out if this is a new movie.
We just have to save it.
I have no idea what this says.
Ride ain't over yet, my man.
Well, I'm totally confused. What was that we just watched?
I don't know.
Wow. I have no clue what that was about. That was strange. All right, now I want to turn that off in case. There we go. Wait, that's Hulk versus a Wolverine. What in the world? So here, the good news is it just keeps rolling for the DC universe, or fans of the cinematic universe, and we've got this covered recently, learning that instead of tying into Zack Snyder's Caped Crusader, Matt Reeves, the Batman, will be more of a standalone film rather than a prequel. Now we have another scoop that it will not only affect the hero's backstory, but his future as well. According to the sources close to WGTC, the Batman could be beginning a whole new Gotham cinematic universe, depending how well it goes. Movies like The Nightwing and Batgirl could follow, and, well, that makes sense, because then they're going to cover a lot of the things like all the other Bat things that followed Batman that we never seem to get very far because they keep getting new Batman.
Right.
And we didn't have that with Iron Man. We didn't have that with
Superman.
We have had it with Superman. We've had like 4 Superman. But they should pay them more and just keep hold of their same people. The problem is that they keep hiring people they can pay less. So we have to start over again all the time because they don't keep their stars. And but anyway, again, it all hinges on how fans receive the Batman, and of course, Robert Pattinson is a young version of Bruce Wayne. So far, reactions have been all over the place, but now that Pattinson's 100% confirmed, time will tell how well he does. History shows us we need to chill out and give him a chance. So, I mean, think about it. Michael Keaton was a Batman. And he was one of the better ones, and I thought when he was going to become Batman, he was not going to be that good.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. So, I don't know. I'm always into a good superhero movie, and I really, really, really did love the last Batman. I mean, he was definitely entertaining to me, but you know, for some reason, he didn't want to be Batman anymore.
Oh, well.
Like I said, it kind of harms the character because we're having so many characters play this Batman, and I wish that it would have been one. Like, Adam West was Batman from beginning to end of his life, pretty much. And that's kind of what I wanted it to be. Be kind of like if you switched out Hulk Hogan with another Hulk Hogan, a younger Hulk Hogan, you know. So it's sad to me that that's the case. But anyway, all right, I got to move on because I'm still in the entertainment section.
That's okay.
No, we're running out of. I can save that for next week. I can. That's not
because I'm starting to hear sounds I don't like to hear.
What? Oh.
The thunder.
Oh. Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. I think I mentioned this. Well, I mentioned this at least over the weekend. I don't know if I mentioned it last week or not. Elon Musk. Okay, so in Tesla we have computer games in our car. Now Elon Musk is going to release a new engine for the computer games. So the engine right now is Atari games.
Okay.
They're going to release the new engine that will run Fortnite and all those types of games. Those action games that are current, not 40 years old.
Okay.
Supposedly, that's going to be the next step for this. And I'm.
Well, if you get Fortnite in your car, don't let my grandson find out.
Well, I don't think that he would find out from me because I don't even know him.
Because he'd want to play in your car.
Well, I wouldn't want him to play in my car. I wouldn't let him play in my car. I'm not crazy.
Well.
About that. Anyway, all right, so that's all I have in that. Then I got a bunch of stuff in this. This is interesting. So millennials definitely have changed the way a lot of things are done.
Right.
Hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that you shouldn't have bar soap.
Right.
I never thought about this stuff when I was a kid. I mean, I took a shower with soap all my life and never realized that there would be an issue with bar soap. But it makes sense. I use only liquid soap now, but because of them, I'm now thinking of things like that. However, their attitudes have changed a lot of things. Their new thing is towards clothing.
Oh, gee.
Well, it's kind of interesting. It makes sense in a standpoint. Rent the Runway is a clothing service that allows customers to rent designer pieces or sign up for a monthly service. So you can rent cool clothes.
There's actually a lot of companies like that out. I think one's called DIA, D-I-A, where you have a personal stylist that you tell them what kind of clothing you like, what your sizes are, different things about you. They pick some pieces, send it to you, you pay for what you keep, send the rest back, and they just keep mixing and matching.
Well, Urban Outfitters is the latest store to announce that it would be launching a clothing rental service. In fact, it's so confident that young consumers want to rent their clothing rather than buy it. It's launched an entirely new business to support this called Nuuly, N-U-U-L-Y. The business launches this summer, giving members the chance to rent clothing from across Urban Outfitters brands, Urban Outfitters, Anthropologie, and Free People, as well as more than 100 third-party brands such as Reebok, Levi's, and Wrangler. Urban Outfitters is a good company. Other brands such as American Eagle and Express are already offering such services as clothing rental service. I never would have crossed my radar, ever.
So the question I have for this is, if you're renting clothing, do you launder it and then send it back, or do you just send it back?
I would hope so.
Yeah, so would I.
I don't know, though, because I've never thought about renting my clothing. In fact, I'm kind of grossed out by wearing other people's clothes. So that part, but it makes sense when you think about this, specifically women. And I'm not picking on women here, but
you better not.
But when I went through Pam's clothes, and she had boxes and boxes of clothes that I don't even remember her wearing, or if she did, she only wore them once. I mean, there are certain clothes you tend to wear often, but many clothes that she bought, she may have wore one time. A thing like this would have been great for her. And for women in general who like to wear different clothes. Guys, we just wear the same thing all the time.
I have 3 weeks worth of work clothes. That's how I know when it's time to do laundry. When I get down to where, I can't wear anything else to work, then it's time to do it.
But when I was working, I did my laundry every week but I have laundry. You could do that here if you wanted to.
I know, but that means coming up here.
Well, or you're up here every Tuesday.
Yeah.
You get here early every Tuesday.
But as I've told you before, the benefit for me is convenience. I can go
Is it convenient? You have to spend time. See, you're going to be here every Tuesday, generally.
Yes.
But you have to take time out of your non-existent time at night or on weekends to do your laundry, which would be things that I would think would be inconvenient.
Okay, let me explain it this way. One load, one washer versus 2 loads at a time with two washers.
But if you do it every week, it's 1 load
it's still, I can still get it done much faster.
Much faster? You're actually not faster because you're having to do you're not multitasking. You're not doing it at the same time as the show. So you could do it a lot faster if you do it here because you don't have to go out and do it.
Yes, but if I do it here, that means I have to get up from the show, go do what I have to do, and then fold it. It's not like I can fold it while we're on the air.
Sure you can.
No, I can't.
Sure you can.
No, it's just quicker.
All you got to
for
do
me.
is hit a button every once in a while and chime in every once in a while saying, I agree with you or I disagree with you.
Okay, so you get me wireless headsets and I'll do it from in there.
See, that would work too. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, for women in general, this would be a great service. Some guys would be into this, guys that wear... But, you know, when I quit my job, I had... what did I say? Well, those are 3 giant bags of stuff I donated. I didn't even know I had that many clothes because I didn't wear them. They were just sitting in my closet, and I just grabbed the same stuff every week.
I still have clothes in my closet that I have not worn that, as part of my reorganization, I will get rid of.
Well...
It's just I haven't gotten that far yet.
It's kind of interesting because I see the clothes that I kept, and I'm thinking I should go through them again because there's clothes that I don't think I'll ever wear. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even keep all my dress clothes. I don't even, because I'm not going anywhere that's dressy for the most part. I think I kept a couple dress clothes, but I don't really do anything dressy anymore. So it seems to me that that's, this would be a good service though. Depending on how they charge and all that stuff. I wonder if they say, let's see, I wonder if we can do this. Let's Rent the Runway. Let's see what Rent the Runway is. I'm kind of curious what they charge because that would be, okay. I tried Rent the Runway's new Amazon-inspired store in San Francisco and felt like it was shoplifting. So apparently these people, this is co-founders built the online luggage retailer Away into $1.4 billion company in just 3 years. Whew. Man, that's awesome. That's something that we all wish we would have done.
Oh yeah, this Dia & Company that I was looking at, it's geared more towards like the bigger woman. Well, it says it's Dia & Company makes shopping fun and easy for women of all shapes and sizes.
Wow. Well, more power to them. I'm like really surprised that is an issue that. But anyway, all right. The Wall?
The game show? Yes.
No.
Oh.
The Wall. Trump's Wall.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not dead yet, but it's really kind of interesting because they've taken the people that follow Trump have taken a new initiative to make the wall happen.
In the El Paso border sector alone, family unit apprehensions at the border have climbed 1,816% from March last year to April this year. Earlier this month, Border Patrol said it apprehends nearly 930 people there a day. And now there's a wall going up, a wall on private land. Chris Kobach joins us now. Chris, thanks for joining us. So, there's been a lot of frustration over legal challenges and ways in which the government, administrative state, has blocked this president from building the wall. You are building it, and you've got an exclusive for us on Fox and Friends. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Pete, this is the first time in American history that a private organization called We Build the Wall, but this is the first time any private organization has built border wall on private land.
I mean, that's really interesting because
in the El Paso area.
They're not putting up with
it's not just any
the government not paying
their land is right where the El Paso wall that separates El Paso and Ciudad Juarez, where that wall ends. There's been a half-mile gap between the existing wall and Mount Cristo Rey. And it was a ridiculously large gap that smuggling of both people and drugs would go through. But get this, the Army Corps of Engineers said that piece of land is too rugged to build on. You can't build there. Well, we built the wall, proved them wrong, and the wall has been going up over the weekend.
That's funny.
We've been building, we're working 24/7.
But if you remember, I think we said it on this show, and if not, I apologize because I thought we did, that there was a GoFundMe for the wall. And they're using money from that GoFundMe to build this wall too.
Oh, wow.
So this wall has been, it's interesting because people are wanting this wall bad enough that they're willing to do what they got to do to get it. So, I mean, I don't know if we're actually going to see this wall in our lifetime, but it sure looks like it's going to happen. So it may happen, may not happen, but I think it's a privately funded wall, and that means the government has no say over it. So I just I found that interesting. So I want to get that out of the way. A private wall. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Except they're not using bricks. This is sad. It really is sad. Landlord gives a 102-year-old woman the boot.
Jeez.
And you know why? Her daughter needs the apartment.
Oh.
So she's kicking this poor 102-year-old woman out from her home just because of that.
That's awful.
I'm really sad and sickened by that someone would actually kick her out of her house.
I just,
Yeah, I'm amazed. Are you going to play or are you not going to play? Hoping this is going to work. Should work. Hello.
Okay,
Oh, you snuck a commercial in there. Huh. It says a 102-year-old woman is forced out of her home here. Family and friends of Thelma Smith are banding together after she received an eviction notice, forcing her to relocate from her home of almost 30 years. Oh, what a weird thing. I mean, imagine living somewhere for 30 years and being happy with it, and just someone one day says, I need my apartment back. Just sad.
I say fight me in court for it.
Well, she has a right to kick him out.
Thelma Smith is celebrating her special day.
That's just not
May
right, especially
20th.
that age.
1917.
She is 102 years old.
Do you have a secret to living such a long life?
Yeah, it's this apartment.
God, I did not ever drink or smoke.
Oh, wow.
But now she has outlived her stay at the Ladera Heights complex.
How long have you lived here in this home?
30 years.
30 years.
Same place.
She received an eviction notice.
She had always said that she
I can't
wanted to live
imagine
here
that.
for the rest of her life.
I just,
And I have
it's
hoped
sad.
that would happen.
But she has been told to move out by June 30th.
Hi, Mr. Hilton. How are you?
I'm Amy Johnson. We got a chance to ask the landlord about it. You know, legally you can make her leave, but 102? Would you kick out a 102-year-old woman?
Apparently.
Would you take care of your child?
Arthur Hilton explained that his daughter is moving in, and despite Smith's long stay here, the property was always meant for family, not a rental.
This property was purchased by my parents, not for rental.
I would hate to be that guy there, because he's
Smith
going
was
to
married
explain
for
it.
50 years. Her husband passed away years ago, and they never had any children.
She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't even think it can happen. She's in denial.
Sharon McGarity is a good friend of Smith's.
She's always supported the community. She was the director of the Sugar Ray Robinson Youth Foundation.
Smith has been very active in the community, and McGarity hopes someone will now help her.
102 years old. I can't even think that far ahead.
102, you don't have too many tomorrows.
So they just celebrate today.
So I have tried to live a good life. I never wanted to harm anybody. I believe in friendship, kindness, and respect. That's all.
That's such a shame. That is such a shame. That poor woman. And what would you do after being at a place for 30 freaking years and they just decide you're not going to be there anymore? So it's sad. Let's see here. We'll move this a little bit. There we go. Oop, that was too far. Let's move it back. There we go. So it's kind of sad. It's sad that the poor 102-year-old woman's going to have to leave a place that she's always known as home, or at least for the past 30 years. But there are people out there that would take advantage of kicking her out, and it's sad. But I mean, you know, people kind of suck overall. But here's another situation in Florida. This is a woman recovering after an alligator attack in a Florida pond. So that's kind of strange to think that. I mean, you know, they're down there. You think about it, and they're all over the place down there. But I thought they were. They were salt water. I thought alligators were salt water. But maybe they aren't. But maybe the pond is salt water. I don't know. I just think it's a weird thing to think about, that you have to worry about alligators attacking you in Florida. I mean, you always have to worry about alligators attacking you in Florida because there's a lot of alligators in Florida. But a 26-year-old woman was recovering after being attacked by an alligator while wading in a pond. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say Nicole A. Tillman of Melbourne was airlifted to a hospital for treatment from her injuries. Today, reports trapper Frank Robb was contracted by the Wildlife Agency to remove the 8-foot gator from the pond. The incident happened at Fay Lake Wilderness Park in Port St. John. Paramedics quickly responded to the scene and treated Tillman. Wildlife Agency warns people to look for alligators in or near any body of water, says that alligators are more active during the spring and summer. So there you go. You got to be careful of alligators. We don't have any around here, so we don't have to be too much worried about them, but we have our own issues around here. So I found that interesting. Anheuser-Busch is in trouble. They had to pull some ads about Coors that they put out. Says a Wisconsin judge ordered Anheuser-Busch to stop suggesting in advertising that Miller's Coors light beers contain corn syrup, wading into a fight between the two beer giants that are losing market share to the independents. I never thought I'd see that because, I mean, they'd have such a big stronghold on the beer market that it's strange to think that the independents have gained that much traction that would make you want to skip one of the name brands. But I mean, if they're not playing the same game, where they're not coming up with new things that people want, people are going to tend to go to different things because that's what we do. We are creatures that want a variety. So, Delta's always in the news, but usually for bad things. Usually they had a crash of some sort. Delta gives free flight to Hawaii for retiring mailman. Delta Airlines didn't have to look and read the feel-good story of the day. Most of the time we've talked about airlines in general have not been good, but it says the airline based in Atlanta saw tweets about Marietta, Georgia mailman Floyd Martin retiring after 35 years as U.S. Post Office worker, including the last 20 plus on the same route. That's a long time to be in that same route. The original story was about his last day. It went viral to the point where the Friends started a GoFundMe page to help Martin realize the lifelong dream of vacationing in Hawaii. That's where Delta stepped in and said, "We got this." So looks like Delta said they responded by a tweet and wrote, "A trip to Hawaii is the perfect way to celebrate a wonderful career. We'd love to take care of Mr. Martin's flight. Let's connect on the details in a DM." So it was a magnanimous gesture for a man who Brett described in her article as absolutely beloved by the community and the neighborhood, where he delivers to 500 houses a day. Knowing it was his last day on the job, most residents on his route came out to greet him, many bearing gifts, and even more still asking to have photos taken with him. So that's kind of cool that Delta actually did something good for this guy, and that's kind of a nice thing to have. So congratulations on doing a good thing and not having to explain why you had guards beating up someone for being on the flight wrong or the wrong seat or whatever reason that you might have done that. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. I'm getting a new refrigerator this week, and one of the things I did was I bought a smart fridge. And the smart fridge is kind of cool because you actually can do all kinds of things on it. And let me see, fridge. I didn't actually expect to talk about this, but I will talk about this now because it's kind of cool. This is the one I'm going to buy. The one I already bought. It's on its way. It'll be here Thursday, and it's a very techy piece of equipment. So it's the Samsung, and it is kind of cool. It's got a little display here, and I hate these things. I don't want that. I don't want this. Close it. That's what I want is this. All right. So this is the refrigerator. Now, you can see it has an ice maker. And you can see that it has a French, or I think they're called French door, and that's the one right below the two that open side by side. And then you have a freezer down on below. But the thing that's kind of cool about it is this has a smart fridge. It's got a display right there on the right, and it allows you to do all kinds of things like apps. It's app driven, and it's got all kinds of apps that you can buy for it. That will make your life easier. So I thought it would be kind of cool to have this. Samsung Smart Fridge apps. So you can get all kinds of neat apps for this. And let me see here. Hopefully I can figure out. Do we have it? Let's see here. Let's try it this way. Maybe we'll do it if we can. Okay. So you can keep your list of grocery stuff, and you can put your things that you need for groceries. You can put on television from one of your other rooms. You can listen to the radio. It'll have recipes you can get, all kinds of really cool things with this hub and stuff. So I just think it's really exciting that we're seeing. Trying to see if it's going to tell me what the apps are. Let me see here. I don't see it. Okay. I wanted to go over it because it's kind of cool. I'm a techie guy. I like techie stuff. And can you download apps? Here we go. Can you download apps for this family hub? Now available in the Play Store. So it's probably Android. That's kind of cool. So you can have Android apps on your fridge. So, okay, here's some of the apps that it has. You can do shopping lists, to-do lists. You can do. It also has cameras inside the actual unit, so you don't have to open the door to see what's in there. But it has the menu. It has to-do. It has calendar. You can view the inside. You can have your shopping list, recipes, refrigerator, diagnostics. I'm assuming it'll show your calendar on the thing. It'll pay bills. It'll tell you, oh, that's a to-do list. And you can have different things for depending who it is. It's different profiles and stuff. So it's kind of cool, and it's a way to, like, I don't want to have a radio and all that stuff in my kitchen, but I don't mind having a refrigerator with a screen on it that has all that stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of a fun little thing, and it's a pretty expensive refrigerator, but eventually we will hopefully have all kinds of other apps for it. I don't even know what all the apps are, but there are a lot of them. You can listen to radio. I think Spotify is one of the apps. There we go. A whiteboard so you can write whatever you want on the thing, or even draw things or whatever. There's all kinds of things. You can upload photos on there. And like I said, there's recipes and stuff like that. And for me, I'm not a great cook, but I'll take recipes. So you can have your to-do list and all that. But it's pretty cool. And anyway, there's a reason I started to talk about that. And the reason I started to talk about it is that there's an article that talks about how your smart fridge can help you from going to a nursing home. How robots and smart fridge can help keep you out of a nursing home. So the thing is, they're getting smarter and smarter than we are. And to think that your refrigerator could save your life, I mean, it has, because I haven't starved to death. I know that much. But it's kind of funny because I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out how it was going to help me keep out of a nursing home. But it talks about for 40 years, Vicki and Kyle have lived in their suburban home. The house is where they've collected a lifetime of memories. Every square foot of their 3-bedroom split level is a monument for their shared life's work. But the couple now finds this symbol of shared success becoming a challenge. Vicki and Kyle's unspoken strategy is to divide and conquer. Kyle takes the lead on the yard work, the car maintenance, and the appliance repairs. He still does most of the jobs around the house, but certain tasks like seasonally hauling out the ladder to change the batteries of a dozen smoke alarms throughout the house. Vicki, she does the chief purchasing officer, take charge of the grocery and pharmacy shopping. She takes lead in arranging doctor's appointments and helping Kyle maintain his diet and medication regimen. So it talks about the fridge now being that, it says, caring for her parents, she saw how big and little tasks are required if one is to live at home independently. Well, you got your to-do list, that'll help, and your calendar, that'll help a lot too. And for me, that would be probably pretty good if I use it, because I tend to not write down a lot of things. They're not alone. According to the AARP, 77% of adults are over 50. Over 50 would like to stay in their current home as they age. However, only 46% believe that they'll be able to do so. So that's interesting to think that they feel forced out of that, and that they don't necessarily want to leave. So how do we solve that? The constant challenges of maintaining their homes or independence. The solution will come in the form of a singular moonshot discovery of the fountain of youth, but rather as a battery of small innovations working together to accomplish something greater. So we're talking about the intelligence of the refrigerators and how maintaining things will be able to be done through that. I think I could push a button on my refrigerator and it would order food to be brought to my house. So I don't even have to go to the grocery store. So it says here, Kyle's home maintenance routine will be far easier with home systems that are not only monitor the home, but automatically connect to trusted providers. Internet of Things such as Notion, for example, offers multi-sensor systems that can detect everything from air temperature to water leaks. Major home insurers are now offering insurance discounts for such systems. While detecting leaks are important, fixing it is the hard part. Notion has gone further into teaming with Home Advisor, so you have the stuff all in one place. And I believe you can also, if I'm not mistaken, there are ways to tie in your smartwatch, so you can check to see if you're having a heart attack or something like that. But it's a lot of different things that these smart appliances are offering us that our parents didn't have, and certainly not our grandparents didn't have. But it's a way we can stay in our homes at a much higher age, or much older age than in the past. So just kind of something to think about. And let's see here. I guess I need to do this Nietzsche thing, because I don't like to not do his reports, but he did an extra thing on, we talked last week about Owen Hart, and he's going to complete the Owen Hart thing, and we'll see what his questions are, or what his reflections are on Owen Hart. So, okay. Let me see. Here we go. That's what we'll do. All right. So I'm going to play the audio from Nietzsche. Oops, wrong one. All right. Where's it at? Hold on. I had it. Here it is. There we go. Doing a little different than I did last week. So, all right. Here we go. This is the Owen Hart thing. If it ever comes up. Just waiting for it to come up. All right. Still waiting. Still waiting and waiting and waiting. All right. Here we go. I hope this works. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Will be part 2 of going over Owen's career. As you know, it's the 20th anniversary of the unfortunate accident that took his life. But as I said last week, I want to focus more on his career. I don't want to talk about what happened. I think too many people do, as I said earlier. So we left off with his feud with Brett, and when that came to a close, you wondered what was going to happen to Owen. I remember he wrestled Diesel when Diesel just won the championship belt from Bob Back. He kind of dropped out to Diesel, and I really thought a career might be in. Not necessarily, he'd still be in wrestling, but I thought as far as his push point, that would be it. But then they came up with a great idea for him, and really clever. They decided to put him with Yokozuna. They faced the Smoking Guns at WrestleMania, and Owen had always wanted to be a champion. He always wanted to get out of Brett's shadow. It's funny because Yokozuna did the blindside splash then. He tagged Owen in, and Owen got the pin, and he celebrated like he just did something great and accomplished something great. But that was Owen Hart. He was just so entertaining. And I thought they had good chemistry, and they would go on to hold those belts throughout the summer. They eventually lost them in September to Shawn Michaels and Diesel. But then the belts were given back to them. They had this lawyer by the name of Clarence Mason who found a loophole and got them the belts back. They would lose them to the Smoking Guns, the following night on Raw. But I didn't really know what was going to happen to Owen after that occurred. But then a great angle that I thought was one of the best in Owen's career was Owen going against Shawn. And he did some type of ghetto blaster to Shawn's head. And Shawn was suffering from, the big storyline was the group of people that beat him up outside. He had post-traumatic head syndrome or something like that. But Owen took credit for doing it. He did, and I thought that was really unique, is that he took credit for hurting Shawn. And he even won a Slammy for it, which was funny, And that was the biggest thing about Owen's career, was how entertaining he was when he won those Slammys. Nobody took more joy in winning the Slammy than Owen. He brought it to the ring all the time. He was referred to as the Slammy Award-winning Owen Hart. That was the beauty of Owen, and they eventually paired him up with Bulldogs. The two of them would go on to win the belt, and they had a nice chemistry as well. I always look at Davey Boy, and I can't help but think of him and Dynamite, but him and Owen really did a great job as their tag team. And I'll never forget one Slammys when Owen was supposed to announce the winner. He wasn't going to win one, but they brought him there, and he started celebrating, saying, "Yes, I did it. a two-time Grammy Award winner, and he was just so entertaining. Like, he was really a great, great bad guy. A lot of people have trouble being a heel. Some people have trouble going from a heel to a face. Owens was doing both, and he was really a good bad guy. I mean, he was good on the mic. He was entertaining. I remember when he got that haircut. That was unique because we never saw that before, and he was just always entertaining the fans. Unfortunately, it looked like his career was going to take a turn again, but then Bret Hart decided to turn heel. And one of the greatest storylines ever is when Owen and Bret made up. Bret said, I used to walk you to the school bus, I used to protect you, I used to make your lunch. And he told Owen he loved him, and Owen's crying and saying he loves Bret too. It wasn't the reunion I think fans were hoping for. They would have liked to see it in a babyface type way, but it was very hysterical. Well done, and I thought that group, the Hart Foundation, they were one of the best factions ever. With Bret, Owen, Bulldog, Neidhart, and Pillman. I thought that group was as good as any faction you would ever see. I put them right up there with the NWL, and you probably say I'm crazy, but that Hart Foundation, they helped get the WWF back to where it needed to be. And then, of course, Owen had that big feud with Steve Austin. Unfortunately, a move went wrong, and he almost paralyzed Austin. But they really worked it into a good storyline. And again, him and Austin had so much chemistry together. Owen can work with anybody. He could work with Bruce. That's how talented he was. Part 3 will be about his next career. It was tough for Owen because Brother Bret was leaving the company, and we all know what happened in Montreal. But that's for next time. I'll see you guys later and have a good day. Take care.